Hello everyone! Welcome back to English Listening and Speaking channel. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for more videos every day.
My first trip to another city. Easy English story for beginners. English listening practice. Hello, and welcome to our English learning story. Today, we are going to listen to a simple English story called My First Trip to Another City. This story is about a young woman named Emma. Emma has always lived in a small town. She knows her town very well. She knows the streets, the shops, the restaurants, and the people. But one day, Emma decides to take her first trip to another city. She is excited, but she is also nervous. She has to take a bus, find her hotel, ask for directions, and explore a completely new place. During her trip, Emma has some unexpected problems, but she also makes new memories and learns an important lesson about traveling. So, let's listen to Emma's story.
My name is Emma. I am 25 years old. I live in a small and quiet town. I have lived there for almost my entire life. My town is not very big. There are only a few main streets. There is a small supermarket near my house. There is a bakery where I often buy bread. There is a coffee shop where I sometimes meet my friends. There is also a small park in the center of town. I know my town very well. I know where everything is. If I want to buy food, I know where to go. If I want to have coffee, I know where to go. If I want to meet a friend, I know where to go. Everything is familiar. Everything feels comfortable. But sometimes I wanted to see something different. I wanted to travel. I wanted to visit new places. I wanted to meet new people. I wanted to experience a different kind of life. There was one city I really wanted to visit. It was called Green Valley City. Green Valley City was about 3 hours away from my town by bus. It was much bigger than my town. There were tall buildings. There were large shopping malls. There were beautiful parks. There were museums. There were restaurants from different countries. There was even a famous river that went through the center of the city. I had seen pictures of the city online. It looked beautiful, but I had never been there. One day, my friend Sarah called me. "Hi, Emma." "Hi, Sarah. What are you doing this weekend?" "Nothing special." "Do you want to go to Green Valley City with me?" I was surprised. Green Valley City? Yes! I thought about it. I had wanted to visit that city for a long time, but I had never traveled so far by myself. "Are you serious?" I asked. "Yes! We can go on Saturday morning and come back on Sunday." I became excited. "That sounds great!" Sarah laughed. "I knew you would say yes." I smiled. "When should we leave?" "Saturday morning. We can take the 8 o'clock bus." "Okay." "Are you nervous?" I laughed. "A little." "Don't worry, I'll be with you." That made me feel better. "Okay, let's do it." My first trip to another city was going to happen. I was excited. I was nervous. And I could not wait for Saturday. Preparing for the trip. Friday evening came quickly. I needed to pack my bag. Because we were only going for 2 days, I didn't need to bring many things. I opened my suitcase. First, I packed 2 shirts. Then I packed a pair of jeans. I packed some comfortable shoes. I also packed pajamas. I put some underwear and socks in my bag. Then I packed my toothbrush and toothpaste. I added some shampoo and soap. I checked my phone charger. I put it in my bag. I also packed my wallet. I needed my ID. I needed some cash. I also had my bank card. Then I checked the weather forecast. The weather was going to be sunny on Saturday, but it might rain on Sunday. So I decided to bring a small umbrella. I also packed a light jacket. When I finished packing, I looked at my bag. It was not very big, but everything I needed was inside. I felt ready. Then I called Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Emma. I'm ready for tomorrow. Me too. What time should we meet? Let's meet at the bus station at 7:30. Okay. The bus leaves at 8. I know. Don't be late. I laughed. I won't. After the phone call, I checked my alarm. I set it for 6 o'clock. Then I went to bed. But I could not sleep immediately. I was thinking about the trip. I imagined the city. The morning of the trip. My alarm rang at 6 o'clock. Beep, beep, beep. I opened my eyes. For a moment, I forgot why I had set the alarm so early. Then I remembered. Today was the day. I was going to Green Valley City. I quickly got out of bed. I took a shower. Then I got dressed. I went to the kitchen and had a quick breakfast. I ate some bread and fruit. I drank a cup of coffee. My mother was sitting at the table. Are you excited? She asked. Yes. Are you nervous? A little. Don't worry. I'll be fine. Remember to keep your phone with you. I will. And be careful with your wallet. I know. My mother smiled. Have fun. Thank you. I picked up my suitcase. Then I said goodbye to my mother. I left my house. The morning air was cool. I walked to the bus station. It took about 15 minutes. When I arrived, Sarah was already there. Good morning, she said. Good morning. Are you ready? Yes. She looked at my suitcase. That's all? Yes, I'm only going for 2 days. Good, I brought a bigger bag. I looked at her suitcase. It was almost twice the size of mine. What did you bring? Sarah laughed. Everything. I smiled. We bought our bus tickets. Then we waited. At 7:55, the bus arrived. We got on the bus. We found our seats. I sat next to the window. Sarah sat next to me. I looked outside. I felt excited. The bus started moving. My trip had begun. At first, the bus traveled through my town. I saw familiar streets. I saw familiar shops. I saw the park. I saw the bakery. I saw my favorite coffee shop. Then the bus left my town. The streets became quieter. We passed farms. We passed small villages. We saw green fields. The view was beautiful. I looked out the window. Everything seemed different. Sarah was listening to music. I was taking pictures. I took pictures of the fields. I took pictures of the mountains. I took pictures of the sky. After about 1 hour, we stopped at a small bus station. The driver announced, "We will stop here for 15 minutes." Sarah and I got off the bus. We walked around. There was a small cafe. We bought some drinks. I bought a bottle of water. Sarah bought a cup of coffee. Then we got back on the bus. The journey continued.
After another hour, I started to feel tired. I looked at the time. We still had about 1 hour to go. I closed my eyes. I tried to sleep, but I could not. I was too excited. Finally, Sarah said, "Emma, look!" I opened my eyes. "What?" "Look outside!" I looked through the window. I could see tall buildings in the distance. My heart started beating faster. "Is that Green Valley City?" "Yes!"
I smiled. "We're here!" The bus continued toward the city. The buildings became taller. The streets became busier. There were more cars. There were more people. There were large signs everywhere. I looked around. Everything was new. I had finally arrived. The bus arrived at the main bus station. We got off. I took my suitcase. Sarah took hers. We looked around. The station was very busy. There were hundreds of people. People were walking in every direction. Some people were carrying bags. Some people were waiting for buses. Some people were talking on their phones. I looked at Sarah. "Where do we go now?" Sarah took out her phone. "We need to find our hotel." "Okay." She opened the map. Our hotel was about 15 minutes from the bus station. "We can walk," she said. "Okay." We started walking. The city was very different from my town. There were tall buildings everywhere. There were traffic lights. There were many cars. There were buses and taxis. People were walking quickly. I had to pay attention. I didn't want to get lost. Sarah looked at the map. "Turn left here." We turned left. Then we walked for 5 minutes. Sarah looked at her phone again. "Wait." "What?" "I think we're going the wrong way." I laughed. "What?" Sarah looked confused. "The map says we should go back." I looked around. We had no idea where we were. I suddenly felt nervous. Are we lost? Maybe. It's our first hour in the city, and we're already lost. Sarah laughed too. We decided to ask someone for help. We saw a woman walking near us. Sarah said, "Excuse me." The woman stopped. "Yes?" "Could you help us?" "Sure." "We are looking for this hotel." Sarah showed her the hotel name on her phone. The woman looked at the map. "Oh, I know this place." "Really?" "Yes, you are going in the wrong direction." Sarah and I looked at each other. The woman smiled. "You need to go back and turn right." "Is it far?" "No, about 10 minutes." "Thank you so much." "You're welcome." We thanked her. Then we started walking in the right direction. I smiled. Our trip was already becoming an adventure. After about 10 minutes, we found our hotel. It was a small but beautiful hotel. There were flowers near the entrance. Inside, there was a comfortable lobby. We walked to the reception desk. A man smiled at us. "Good afternoon." "Good afternoon." "Welcome to Green Valley Hotel." "Thank you." "We have a reservation," Sarah said. "Can I have your name, please?" "Sarah Miller." The man checked the computer. "Yes, I found your reservation." He gave us 2 room keys. "Your room is on the 3rd floor." "Thank you." We took the elevator. When we entered our room, I looked around. There were 2 beds. There was a small table. There was a television. There was a bathroom. There was also a large window. I walked to the window. The view was amazing. I could see the city. I could see tall buildings. I could see cars moving through the streets. I could see people walking below. "This is beautiful," I said. Sarah put her suitcase on the bed. "Are you happy?" "Yes." "Good." We rested for about 30 minutes. Then Sarah said, "Are you ready to explore?" I smiled. "Yes." We left the hotel. Our adventure continued. Our first stop was the city center. We walked along a busy street. There were many shops. There were restaurants. There were cafes. There were street musicians. There were people everywhere. I felt like I was in another world. We stopped at a small cafe. We ordered 2 coffees. We sat outside. I watched people walking by. Some people were going to work. Some people were shopping. Some people were meeting friends. I enjoyed watching the city. After our coffee, we continued walking. We visited a large shopping mall. It was much bigger than the shopping center in my town. There were hundreds of shops. Sarah wanted to buy some clothes. I wanted to buy a small gift for my mother. We walked around for almost an hour. Finally, I found a beautiful scarf. It was simple, but elegant. I decided to buy it. I imagined my mother wearing it. She would like it. After shopping, we left the mall. Then we walked toward the famous river. The river was in the center of the city. There was a long walking path next to it. Many people were walking there. Some people were riding bicycles. Some people were sitting on benches. There were trees along the river. The weather was perfect. The sun was shining. A cool wind was blowing. I took many pictures. Sarah took a picture of me. I stood next to the river. I smiled. I felt happy. "This is my first trip to another city," I said. Sarah smiled. "And you are enjoying it." "Yes." "I'm glad." After walking near the river, we started to feel hungry. Sarah said, "Let's find a restaurant." "Okay." We walked through the city center. There were many restaurants. Some were very expensive. Some were small and simple. We found a small restaurant with outdoor tables. The restaurant looked friendly. We decided to eat there. A waiter came to our table. "Good evening." "Good evening. Can I take your order?" Sarah looked at the menu. "I'd like chicken and rice, please." The waiter looked at me. "And for you?" I looked at the menu. There were many choices. Finally, I said, "I'd like noodles with vegetables, please." "Anything to drink?" "Water, please." "Sure." We waited for our food. While we were waiting, we talked about our day. "What's your favorite part?" Sarah asked. I thought about it. "I like the river." "The river?" "Yes, it is beautiful." "I like the shopping mall." I laughed. "Of course you do." The food arrived. It looked delicious. I took my first bite. "Wow!" Sarah laughed. "Is it good?" "Yes!" The food was excellent. We enjoyed our dinner. After eating, we paid the bill. Then we walked back toward the hotel. The city looked different at night. The buildings were full of lights. The streets were busy. There were people everywhere. I looked around. I did not want the day to end. We decided to take a short walk before returning to the hotel. The city was beautiful at night. The lights reflected on the river. Music was playing in the distance. People were laughing. Some families were walking together. Some couples were sitting near the river. I felt peaceful. Sarah said, "Are you tired?" "A little." "Do you want to go back?" I looked around. "Not yet." Sarah smiled. "Okay, let's walk a little more." We continued walking. Then we saw a small street market. There were many small shops. People were selling food. People were selling clothes. People were selling handmade products. We walked through the market. I saw many interesting things. Then I found a small handmade keychain. It had a picture of the city. I bought it. "This is for me," I said. Sarah laughed. "You already bought a gift for your mother." "Yes, this one is for me." I put the keychain in my bag. It would remind me of my first trip to the city. Finally, we decided to return to the hotel. We walked back. When we arrived, we went to our room. I was tired. I took a shower. Then I changed into my pajamas. I looked at the clock. It was almost 11. Sarah was already in bed. "Good night, Emma." "Good night, Sarah." "Did you have fun?" "Yes." "Me too." I smiled. I closed my eyes. I thought about everything we had done. We had traveled by bus. We had gotten lost. We had asked for directions. We had explored the city. We had gone shopping. We had walked near the river. We had eaten delicious food. It had been a wonderful day. Then I fell asleep. The next morning, I woke up at 7 o'clock. Sunlight was coming through the window. I looked outside. The city was already busy. Cars were moving. People were walking. Buses were driving through the streets. I got out of bed. Sarah was still sleeping. I opened the curtains. "Sarah?" She opened her eyes. "What time is it?" 7 o'clock. "Oh. Are you hungry?" Sarah sat up. "Yes." We laughed. We got dressed. Then we went downstairs. The hotel had a small breakfast area. We sat at a table. We had bread. We had eggs. We had fruit. We had coffee. While we were eating, we talked about our plans. "We need to leave the hotel at 10, Sarah said. "Okay." "Our bus is at 11:30. That gives us some time." "Yes." We finished breakfast. Then we checked out of the hotel. We left our bags at the reception. We still had 2 hours before our bus, so we decided to visit one more place. We went to the City Museum. It was a beautiful old building. Inside, we learned about the history of Green Valley City. There were old photographs, there were paintings, there were maps, there were many interesting objects. I learned a lot. I was happy that we visited the museum. It was a great way to finish our trip. At 10:30, we returned to the bus station. We collected our bags. Then we waited for our bus. I looked around. The trip was almost over. I felt a little sad. I had enjoyed my time in the city. But I was also happy to go home. At 11:20, the bus arrived. We got on. We found our seats. I sat next to the window again. The bus started moving. I looked at the city one last time. The tall buildings slowly disappeared. The busy streets became quieter. Soon, we were outside the city. I looked at the pictures on my phone. I had taken more than 100 pictures. I smiled. Sarah looked at me. "Are you tired?" "Yes." Are you happy? Yes. Would you come back? I thought about it. Yes, definitely. Me too. The journey home was peaceful. This time, I was not nervous. I knew the road. I knew where we were going. I closed my eyes. I thought about my trip. It had been my first trip to another city, and it had taught me many things. When I arrived home, my mother was waiting for me. How was your trip? It was amazing. Did you have fun? Yes. Tell me everything. I smiled. There was so much to tell her. I told her about the bus ride. I told her about getting lost. I told her about the woman who helped us. I told her about the hotel. I told her about the river. I told her about the restaurant. I told her about the museum. Then, I gave her the scarf. This is for you. My mother smiled. It is beautiful. I thought you would like it. Thank you. I also showed her my keychain. This is for me. My mother laughed. Of course. I smiled. That night, I thought about my trip. Before the trip, I was afraid. I thought traveling to another city would be difficult. I thought I might get lost. I thought I might have problems. And yes, we did get lost. But we solved the problem. We asked someone for help. We found our hotel. We explored the city. We had a wonderful time. I learned that traveling is not only about visiting new places. Traveling is also about learning. You learn how to solve problems. You learn how to communicate. You learn how to ask for help. You learn how to be independent. And sometimes, you learn more about yourself. I realized that I was more confident than I thought. I could travel. I could ask questions. I could solve problems. I could explore new places. My first trip to another city changed the way I thought about traveling. Before the trip, the world seemed very big. After the trip, I realized that the world was waiting for me to explore it. My first trip to another city was one of the best experiences of my life. I was nervous before I left, but I decided to try something new. I traveled by bus. I visited a new city. I stayed in a hotel. I met new people. I tried new food. I visited interesting places. I even got lost. But getting lost was not the end of the world. I simply asked for help, and everything worked out. If you are thinking about taking your first trip, don't be too afraid. You don't have to travel to another country. You can start by visiting a nearby city. Plan your trip. Pack your bag. Take your phone. Bring your ID. Keep your money safe. And most importantly, enjoy the journey. Remember, you don't need to know everything before you start. Sometimes, the best experiences happen when things don't go exactly as planned. The world is bigger than our comfort zone. Sometimes, we need to step outside our familiar world. We need to try something new. We need to explore. We need to learn. And we may discover that we are capable of much more than we thought. Thank you for listening to this English story. I hope you enjoyed my first trip to another city. I also hope you learned some useful English words and expressions. Here are some useful phrases from today's story. I'd like to buy a ticket. Where is the bus station? Could you help me? I'm looking for this hotel. How do I get there? Is it far from here? Could you tell me the way? I'd like to check in. What time does the bus leave? I'd like to order this, please. Keep listening. Keep practicing. Keep learning English. And remember, every journey begins with a single step. See you in the next English story.